Hi, this is Professor Gonzalez, and we want to solve this quadratic equation by factoring. So there's a few steps that we need to go through. The first one is we need to set this equal to 0, so we're going to subtract the 17x and the 40 from both sides. So now that we have it equal to 0, we need to talk about the factoring. So when you're factoring, what you need is you need two numbers which are going to multiply in this case, you need two numbers that multiply to give negative 200 and add to give that middle term. Okay, so you can do the sort of the method here where you start off with negative 200. This is the adding side, this is the multiplying side, and you can just start guessing, but that turns out to be quite a bit of work. So here's how one of the ways that I do it. I take this number right here, which is the negative 200, and I'm going to do it into prime factors. So I would have, I'm going to ignore the negative sign for this. I'd have 2 and 100, 2 times 50, 2 times 25, and that's 5 times 5. And now that I see all the factors, I can give, it's easier for me to come up with some things to try. So the first thing I'm going to try now is negative 25 and 8. And if you multiply those, you do get negative 200. And when you add them, you get negative 17. Okay, so that's the middle term that I was trying to come up with. So now I'm going to do factor by grouping. So what I have here is I know that negative 17x is going to be negative 25x plus 8x. That was the whole point of doing this. So we'll come back over here, 5x squared minus 25x plus 8x minus 40, and that's equal to 0. So we do a factor by grouping. We're going to factor each of those. The first group gives me, I can factor out 5x, and then I'm left with x minus 5. For the second group, I can factor out an 8, and then factoring out an 8, I have x minus 5. Factor x minus 5 to the front. The second term is going to be 5x plus 8. Set each of those equal to 0. And you get x equals 5 and x equals negative 8/5. And of course you can check these by plugging them back in, but in this case our answer is going to turn out to be the set 5 and negative 8/5.